I'm Richard Lewis reporting for cadred.org, and I'm here at the venue I never thought I'd have the joy to return to. I'm at the International Centre in Telford for i48, and as you can see, the weather, I mean, it'll make you fucking Europeans laugh, you Finns and your Swedes and all of that, because in Britain we get a little bit of snow and we completely go to fucking pieces. But anyway, this is what's happened, and there's been a campsite out there where people have been struggling to fight for life through the night just to make it for a good bit of gaming. So we are here, and you can see it's lovely. And the reason for doing a tour, even though, in fact, fuck, I'll tell you this inside, it's fucking cold. But the reason for doing a tour, when we've done this tour like a million times before, because obviously we do come to these events, is that the StarCraft 2 event is actually worth kind of talking about now. It's not just the UK players that we usually see. TLO rocked up to the last one, and here he's brought some of his European friends. It's actually quite a competitive tournament, so I'm expecting there'll be a lot of StarCraft 2 fans that haven't really seen what the Telford International Centre's about, don't really know what an I-Series is. So yeah, if you're watching for the first time, we're going to take you around. We'll try and make it interesting. It's bright and early, so I'm not expecting to bump into anybody of any interest, because everyone's still kind of sleeping off the first day's drinking. Speaking of which, we'll nip into the bar area. Last time I was in here, there was loads of jokes that I could do, because there was like these proper fat Magic the Gathering nerds, and they were all like doing the lightning bolt and all that shit, right? But not today. They've set up this quiet and solemn stage area. And not that I've got anything against Magic the Gathering, by the way, it's a great game. And you can see this is kind of the eating area in the bar. People like to come in here and just chill out. And if you come up here, I'll show you the catering. How's it going? You all right, Chief? This is where people queue up to get their chow, and the food is just lovely, as you would expect at a LAN. But you know, it's actually quite nice in here, and it's nice and warm, and it's nice and chilled out atmosphere, and the food's not that bad, and people just queue up, and it's a bit like being at school dinners, but that's not the worst thing that can happen to you. So that's pretty much it. There was nothing really interesting in here at all, but I had to take you around, or it wouldn't be much of a tour. So this is going to be taking you into the main exhibitor hall. I'll just show this chap my security. Thank you very much. He looked ecstatic at that, didn't he? But this is the main exhibitor hall. Now in here is where all the people that effectively fund esports, either directly in terms of investing in this particular event, but kind of also just in general. You know, you'll see a lot of familiar names. They come here and they tout their goods, and pretty much this is, you know, what they're looking to do is they offer discounted kind of goods here and whatnot, but it's a direct way for them to reach their target audience. So again, you'll see lots of familiar names as we come around, but it's quite big. Every I-Series have a massive opening ceremony on the main stage, which we're getting to. I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but you can see there's a big gun, which is nice. And yeah, I probably should have looked into what exhibitors were actually on, but no, I can't be bothered. I'm not going to research these at events anymore. But you can see, oh look, we've got fucking this here. We got Shoot Mania. Still in beta, I believe, and looking to make a big splash in the FPS competitive esports scene. Don't think that's going to happen, if I'm honest, but someone's got to try something, because competitive FPS is pretty much dead in the water, which is a shame, because the multiplayer event was always founded on the FPS kind of community, be it Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, and Team Fortress 2 as well, if people can remember that far back. All kind of seems to be a bit flat at the moment. Now, I'm not saying that this event in particular is flat, and the weather has been pretty much terrible, and there hasn't been a lot of teams signing up, so it is kind of all a bit muted at the moment. There's not really a lot of action going on. The opening ceremony, though, was deemed to be successful, and there was lots of people giving out lots of free shit. You can see they've also had a bit of a rejig for people who've been here. They've kind of moved the bar a little bit further forward to the spectator area, which is great and a bit more intuitive, if you like, for when people are going to spectate. Now you can see this is the main stage area, and I think this is a kind of a better setup. Before you had some raised bleachers. It might not look that spectacular. Again, it might look a bit like, I don't know, graduation day at college. It might have that feel to it, but I think the stage is actually much improved. It's got a nicer kind of backdrop to it. With the lighting and the branding. You can see as well, you've got Scan up there and ESET, who've invested a lot of money in the main tournaments here. But this is kind of the stage here, and I think it's actually a lot nicer than we've seen in previous events. over there as well, just for the people. They've got a massive retro gaming area, and again, that's, you know, it taps into the history of the event itself, because the event's been going, I think, in some form or another now for about 14 years. It has given away almost £500,000 in prize money down those years. It started with just 50 people. Since then, I think it's had something like 2.1 million people in total have attended an I-Series. So there you go. I have done a bit of fucking research. There you go. So, but yeah, I just got out of the I-Series website. But anyway, we come over here. This is the other side of the exhibit hall. All very exciting. And again, past the bar, where by the end of the event, I think I'm going to be propping that up. And again, it's more kind of, these are the sit down and kind of just try out games areas. You've got people, again, a lot of it is a family orientated land. You will actually see a lot of young people here. How's it going, brother? You all right? That's Dave Witzer there. If you're a FIFA fan, that's the guy called Sweet Patch runs that shit. This is the traditional tuck shop where you can buy some merchandise and stuff like this. They call it Om Nom Nom because we're an internet generation. We can only talk in memes and catchphrases and insults primarily. How's it going? You all right? So yeah, you can buy, again, lots of healthy food. And if you ever wonder why people who've been involved in esports for a while are my kind of build, that's kind of why. 'Cause chocolate is just £1. So more t-shirts and stuff over here. This is actually quite expanded. They've really brought the merchandising side to the forefront. But this is the main part of it. This is going to be where your average Joe, you know, if you wanted to attend this event, this is where you're going to be. You're going to get put in one of these rows with your other people, and you're just going to sit down here and kind of play for you know, a prolonged period of time. There's no diversification. Just by the way, there's a referee. They do make them dress like that. I think that's fucking brilliant. They always feel ritually humiliated, the admins, especially if they are, you know, they were cool in a former life before they became admins. But yeah, this is pretty much the mainstay of it. And you know, it's what you'd expect from a LAN. I'm not going to surprise you with anything that's going on here, but you know, people get together, they sit down in a row, and then they play each other. And if they're playing an exciting game and they're actually a genuine competitor, they'll stand up and shout "fuck off" at each other. Which I see there's a video on Reddit at the moment, which everyone's going, "Oh my god, Call of Duty scene so unprofessional." It's the whole FPS scene. This is pretty much what a LAN actually comprises of. And this, I mean, again, it's actually, I think they've only just got the one hall. Am I right, cameraman? Yeah, I'm right. They've only just got the one hall open this time because they haven't had that kind of influx of numbers. So what's kind of good about it is almost like that democratization of you know, the top players are just going to be in amongst these other guys. I mean, some people can hire boxes. They do these kind of executive boxes, closed off areas, but you know, you do pay a little bit extra for it. And realistically, I'm not sure what value you get in it, especially if you want that kind of LAN feeling, you know, where people can kind of gather around and watch your games, which typically will happen. They generally give preferential seating, if you like, to the top teams. But this is pretty much the whole shebang, really. I mean, it is a very small, a very quiet LAN. I'm even a bit disappointed that I haven't bumped into more people to kind of just get going on camera, but that we saw a Nexus back at our hotel. They were having breakfast, and my assistant editor, Michael, he was loving that because he's a big Rattlesnake fan, as you probably can tell from every preview he writes on the website. So, I mean, this is it. Look, I mean, for all the people who've been following the website for a long time, I'm not going to be able to tell you anything new about an I-Series. I'm not going to be able to tell you anything new about this venue. This has been multi-place home for a long, long time now. We're not jumping between Stoneleigh. We're not jumping between Newbury. But for the people, I say, that are really kind of like, oh, look, there's a StarCraft 2 tournament that's actually worth following, which, you know, it absolutely is, by the way. I'm hugely impressed with what they've managed to do in terms of the people they've attracted to it. This is probably going to be the first time you've ever had a real concerted look, because it always has, in the past, been Counter-Strike focused. Anyway, that's pretty much all she wrote. We're going to be on site, incredibly, now that the ban has been overturned, and we're in a spirit of Glasnost for multiplayer again. So we're going to be doing lots of coverage, lots of video interviews. So do stay tuned to the website for more nonsense like this. Thanks very much.